Welcome to Downtime in the Apocalypse, a podcast where Ted talks and Kevin listens. I'm Ted.
And I'm Kevin.
Listeners, we had an election in the remnants of the United States recently.
Okay, sorry, go on.
Now, parting the kimono for a moment. That's a term, Kevin, I promise.
I know it's a term. I just haven't heard anyone say it in, ever.
Okay, fair. But pardon the kimono. This is the Thursday after the election.
Yep.
There are no concrete results. Frankly, it's anyone's game. My students have started a betting pool.
I mean, yeah, so is Vegas. So
That's illegal, I think. Isn't it?
You can bet on who's going to win the election.
I thought Americans couldn't bet on who wins the election.
No. Like last year, well, not last year, but like 4 years ago, it was Trump versus Hillary. And then some dude won I think $50,000 because he voted on Trump, and then Vegas was very against that vote. So,
that's interesting. I mean, no matter what, I would assume Vegas odds were, unbiased for, political partisaness because, I mean, let's be honest here, it's a corporation trying to make money.
Yeah,
they got supercomputers working on this crap. There's a team of mathematicians whose job it is to make sure these algorithms are as unbiased as possible.
Yeah, but still, they can't make football perfect, so the election is also not going to be perfect as well.
This is also true.
Football should have zero bias in it. It should just be the money line, but here we are.
Yeah, well, football has a lot of factors in it, too. I mean, there's so many moving parts and everything. Then again, elections have more, so what am I talking about?
I mean, yeah, elections have even more moving parts.
Yeah, what am I talking about? I'm clearly an idiot. I mean, it is morning, and as I've said previously, I am not a morning person, so frankly, this is just a stream of consciousness from my brain through my mouth into this microphone with Kevin making commentary.
Yeah, as we said, this is Ted Talks and Kevin listens and occasionally speaks. Only occasionally, though.
Yep.
So you've parted the kimono. I've seen what is underneath. I do not approve. And Ted, what have you done this week besides vote?
Yeah, true. Vote early, vote often. But no, Kevin.
Burn the heretic, kill the mutant.
That's later, Kevin. That's later.
That is later.
About 4 of you just figured out what RPG we played.
Only 4.
Anyways.
There's only 3 listeners, which is amazing.
I listened to this.
Oh, yeah. I'm
That's
sorry.
How I fall asleep, so this is...
3.5 listeners.
I was counting me being my half-asleep state going, what are they talking about? Oh, they're talking about Dark Heresy. That makes sense.
That's the episode.
All right. Anyways, Kevin, I've been working hard. Been doing a lot of overtime lately. And also, I helped your family this week.
Yes, you did. I owe you what they call in the Star Wars universe a life debt.
Yeah, now, listeners, Kevin's father is in a tight spot, or was in a tight spot. Everything seems to be fine now, but he had to leave his apartment rather quickly.
Yeah, the Raiders were coming, so...
Yeah, it was not a very safe enclave.
No, and not even... Well, when we had to relocate him, it was also snowing outside when we had to move everything. So every 5 seconds, we were almost slipping off that moving truck.
Yeah, it's bad. Also...
Sorry, moving tank.
Yeah. Tank, truck, same thing.
Same thing.
Also, we were given a storage space that was smaller than the
items that you needed to put in the storage space.
I was going to say the tank, but yeah,
okay.
We had very little room to put a very large amount of items, and it took a shockingly large amount of time to convince your father of this.
Yeah, he was very reluctant to understand the spatial awareness of the storage area and the items that he had. So we came together as friends often do to move someone else's stuff, as is tradition.
Tradition.
Yep, and we were sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts to fuel our endeavors, so the caffeine went straight to our brain, so we were able to lift the mighty heavy objects, and we also broke a couple. Sorry, Dad. I'm very sorry about that, but
I'm not.
I told you broke his Ming China vase, my man. That cost at least 3,000 yen.
Okay. I will pay him back the 3,000 yen. I'll pay him back 4,000 yen.
All right, and in case you don't know, that's like 10 million US dollars now.
Yes, and maybe a two uh, credit Dunkin' Donuts gift card.
Oh God, that'd be really nice. Either way, so we helped my dad out. We weren't able to do everything in one day, which was very apparent because of the storage space and everything else going on.
Yeah.
You had to go to like a 20-hour shift, basically.
Well, so that was a Friday, and normally I don't. I have a policy. I don't do anything on Fridays because at 3 o'clock I go in for my 3 to 11 shift.
Yep.
Then I get home, and I have to be ready for 7 o'clock in the morning, where I have a 16-hour shift. So Friday, Thursday night into Friday is literally my last chance to get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, and you could say that I'm like the Sandman that rudely awakened you and stole your sleep away from you. But I guess the opposite of a Sandman. What's the opposite of like Sandman?
I have no idea where you're going. I don't know what the opposite of a Sandman is. A mud maker?
Well, Mr. Sandman, bring me a yeah, like you know that song,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. The wind? I don't know, Kevin.
What the So we're narrowing our options down to the wind or or mud.
Crying babies. There, you're the crying baby keeping me awake.
Yeah, I'm the crying baby on the airplane keeping you awake. That's fine. Because there's always at least one. Because there's always not a pregnant woman, but a post-pregnant woman with a baby having to go somewhere.
A new mother, Kevin. A new mother. Post pregnant.
Post-pregnant. I'm also tired and also currently awake, so that's or something like currently
Yeah,
awake,
this is a game. I mean, we got some dunks all with us, so it's going
yeah,
to get slowly better as time goes on.
or worse depending. But either way, we had a fun time doing that. I had to also help him move some other stuff afterwards, and threw most of it into a dumpster, so that was fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Anyways, I mean, I don't want to just spend this entire segment ragging on your father's plans. You can do that. That's fine, but it does not feel right to just kind of like, dude, man, that sucked helping your dad for like an entire segment. So I'm gonna talk about something else.
Well, he gave you a ration card,
He
so
did. He did give me a fine ration card, and I do appreciate that.
yeah.
But also,
Let me
uh,
rag on you for another 10 minutes. Thanks for the ration card.
yeah. But no, I'm gonna stop there and go into something I did do for leisure this week.
Yeah.
I've been playing more Dark Souls. I beat Ornstein and Smo.
Uh,
I'm currently in Lost Izalith.
nice. Okay. Okay. So, you got over that hump or
Mhm.
wall, whatever you want to call it. Did you get over the wall just like changing the strategy, or did you just like get some actually competent people to help you out this
Oh, I
time?
got some competent people. I
Okay. Good. Okay.
I just went through. Now I the first time I beat them originally, I did do it the right way without any help or anything.
Yeah.
Frankly, I did not feel like banging my head against the wall that much this time. I'm a busier person than I used to be.
Yeah.
So you know, popped some humanity, reverse kindling, went through, killed all of the golems and everything, summoned Solaire, the best man ever,
The best boy.
the best boy. Um, and then just one guy, I cannot remember his name, but he was, and I was impressed as soon as I saw him because I knew he was either amazing or the best troll ever
Okay.
because his character only had a helmet on, and it was the like metal boar helmet,
Oh, nice. Okay.
but the weapon he had, no shield,
Yeah.
was the Black Knight halberd, which is like a pro weapon.
Right. Okay.
Like,
So either the best troll or someone that's really good.
yeah, like this is a sort of like speed run build almost.
Right. Right. Right.
So I'm like, oh, this guy is either hilarious or is going to win me this.
Either way, I'll have a good time.
Yeah, that was it though. It's like, well, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was very good actually. Me and him basically had the same strategy of rolling around like idiots, like this until one of us got both their attentions,
Right. Right.
and then the other one and Solaire would just rag on them for a little bit, and this went back and forth until we won.
Yep. Solid strategy.
Yeah, it worked really well. Smo died first, which is a first for me actually.
Right. It's usually
Yeah, which Mega Ornstein is way harder.
Then yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's
I did not know that.
Yeah.
But I mean, not like I would have done anything differently, of course.
I mean, you learn something new every day, right?
Yeah, but we still beat him. It was closer than I'd like.
But a victory is a victory.
A victory is a victory. So now I'm just trying to pick which were the final 4 bosses I want to do first. I tried to see the skills. I got cursed. So I went to the new Londo ruins, got my curse removed, drained the swamp.
Nice. Yep.
That being said, I hate the Four Kings boss.
Okay, yeah.
Not like it's a bad boss or anything. I just swear I have a depth perception problem, and the black room gives me nothing for reference. So I just keep like almost missing them.
Oh, yeah. So that's a problem.
It just really bugs me. So
Right.
It's like, screw him. It's like, I don't want to get cursed again. I don't want to do this again. I don't want to do Gravelord because I don't have a lantern yet.
Yeah, so...
But you can get a lantern in Lost Islet. There's a bug that gives you like a helmet that makes light. So.
Oh, okay, right.
So I'm hoping that's what I get. So I'm currently there. Just beat the centipede demon, got the ring, so I can walk through lava without taking too much damage.
Nice. Okay.
And now I'm trying not to die from a legion of dragon butts. If I'm
Yeah.
not joking, literally dragon butts.
Yeah. So have you ever seen that like cartoon on? It was like YouTube and everything like that. Dragon Drop.
I have not, Kevin.
Okay, it's by this guy called Yotam or Yotam, and it's you know that thing where you go to like a website and it's like drag and drop, right?
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
But the joke is that it's like a dragon and drop.
So
Dragon drop.
Yeah. So this is funny. So I used to be part of a Rocky Horror troupe.
Yes, I remember that.
And
yes.
I brought several friends of mine there. It used to be something I brought anyone I was like dating to. And it's like, okay, look, this is the type of person I am. If you don't like this, it's probably not going to work out.
Yeah, set up the expectations now.
Yeah. But I brought a bunch of friends and a woman I was involved with at the time to there, and she got called up for the state opening act. And it was originally it's called the Virgin Sacrifice. And the original thing was it was going to be, all right, name your favorite drag queen.
Yeah.
And then after that, they go down the line, and you have to, in front of an audience full of strangers, do your best impression of that drag queen having a mind-blowing orgasm.
Yep. Okay.
However,
fantastic.
It was very quickly realized by MC that maybe you don't have a favorite drag queen.
Maybe. I mean, that's a pretty common thing, really. But I mean, if you're from Utah, then it's a little harder.
Yeah. Kevin's sister's moving to Utah apparently, so it's on his brain. There's probably gonna be a lot of weird jabs at Utah this episode.
And Mormons. That's every episode.
That's every episode. But,
sorry if you're Mormon. I just disagree with everything. Anyway.
But she's like, okay, so it's gonna be drag queen and or dragon was what the compromise was.
That's a good compromise, honestly. I like that a lot.
Yeah, so
I was wondering like where this is going to connect.
No, it was drag queens and dragons. America's favorite BDSM role-playing game.
I thought you were going to say America's favorite pastime other than baseball. Dragons and drag queens.
Oh, man. I would totally play dragons and drag queens over baseball any day of the week.
You know what? Actually, same here. I could get into that. And then you have to clasp someone else's hands and stare into their eyes, and you have to do a dragon versus a drag queen.
It does change Dragon Slayer quite a bit.
Oh, dude. That would be amazing.
Yeah, but, okay, so that same story where we're going up there and, like, things, there's callbacks to it. You basically shout at the people on stage, and most people aren't used to that. So the girl I'm sort of with the time goes up there, and she goes, "Hi, I'm Carly," and I shout, "And I'm an alcoholic." And she just shouts my name as the MC, who knows me fairly well, is asking her, okay, she's favorite, and she's like, she's like, Ted is like, oh. She looks at the audience, sees me, and goes, "Ted, I don't know which one of those you are, actually."
The dragon or the drag queen.
Yeah. It got bad because my light crew was heckling her during the orgasm impression.
Nice.
So it's like, you're not crying enough.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Your cronies in the light crew.
I regret. I love those guys.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Um, if Corona ever lifts and civilization rebuilds itself, I want to go back to one of those so badly.
Oh, I would like to. I would like to see civilization rebuild itself, and then you establish a new drag queen dragon order.
Kevin, I'm a loyal citizen of the Dunkin' Donuts Empire.
We'll go with that. That's fine.
Anyways, speaking of which, it is the Empire, so I hope you voted for Adile and Quester.
You know I did. Come on. Let's not even talk about that. That's an assumed thing at this point. There are no other options. It's only one option on the voting thing. I don't even know why we have it.
Adile and Quester are ancient Roman political positions, not people.
Okay. God, I look stupider every day when I'm compared to you, Ted. And
No, you just don't waste your time studying Roman election process.
to be fair, that's better than what I did for this week.
What did you do this week, Kevin? Besides helping your father move.
All right. Besides helping my dad move his stuff and everything, which took up like a lot of my day. Um, Also, it was Halloween, so after doing the moving on Friday, I stood outside and handed out candy for 8 hours or whatever, which was fun. Had a good time doing that. Afterwards, I've been playing Dark Heresy, which is the thing we talked about here, has inspired me to go back into my childhood and has unearthed some memories from it. Some deep, dark memories that I haven't remembered for a long time.
I have no idea where you're going with this, Kevin.
Okay. So I looked up on Steam and started playing Dawn of War again.
Ooh, nice!
Yeah. I remember like playing that as a kid, and I remember just something from I remember like the word Space Marines. And I was like, oh god, wasn't there like an RTS game or something like that I used to play with my like stepdad all the time? And yeah, it was actually Dawn of War. So I'm going through that campaign right now, and yeah, I love that game. It's so good.
Yeah, so this is weird. I have played no Warhammer video game.
Okay, like zero, nothing.
Zero. I've not played. Oh, sorry, scratch that. I've played a few hours of the Xbox 360 Space Marine game.
Okay, and is that like a first-person shooter? I'm
It's
guessing.
a third-person shooter,
Oh,
closer
okay.
to the Gears of War.
All right, Gears of War,
Now the
which is also very kind of a close parallel between those two, I guess.
yes, yeah, very close.
Yeah,
Gears of War could easily take place in the 40k universe. Um,
yeah, and then them aliens there.
yeah, but that game was particularly interesting because you're fighting orcs, space orcs, of course, and because it's made by a bunch of people in London,
Yeah,
they all have Cockney accents for some reason.
yeah. Okay, yeah. So I mean, does that like that's always an interesting thing, but how fun do the Cockney accents get? Because I can imagine they get pretty funny or
Oh, they
fun.
get pretty funny. Also, at this point, that's just what orcs sound like to me.
Yeah, just like Cockney orcs.
Yeah. I'm not going to try to do an impression. I'm awful at it.
Same here.
But one of the more interesting things about that game is how you heal yourself. Because basically doing a fatality from Mortal Kombat, just eviscerating some guy in melee, is the only way to retake HP.
So as a space marine, you're doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, the guy has your space marine has no helmet on. He has a name. He's a character. But as he's just like using a chainsaw sword to like cut this thing in half vertically,
Vertically, of course.
or like breaking its spine over its knee,
Of course.
there's just no expression.
Just like
Deadpan, as literally looks like they're reading a how-to manual on coding or something. Like not something like a passion, just something for work.
Funny enough, I saw the same expression on your face when we had to move that table, and then all the glass shattered on it. So, same exact expression.
Yeah, followed by a lot of four-letter words.
Yep, I remember
That
that.
expression did not last very long.
No, it did not. No, it did not. I did not know those tiles came loose, man.
Yeah, neither did I. Honestly, I'm just kind of glad the glass didn't come loose.
Yeah, but it's pretty much ruined because you don't have the tile. It's just like empty squares.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest here, Kevin. Do you think that table's ever going to be used again?
No,
Do you think anything that room's ever going to be used again?
no.
Should have all just went to the dumpster.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
All right. So I'm glad you've been playing Dawn of War. I still have not been playing it. I don't know why.
It's cheap. It's like only like $12.
Yeah, I really should. Like I said, I've done a lot of Warhammer stuff, but
Yeah.
like I played the tabletop. I collected an army.
Yeah,
I've read well over 100 books.
as you do.
Well over 100 novels, really. I've read 50 in one series.
I'm kind of thinking about starting to read it as well, and I would go off your recommendation because I would think that you would know the good ones from the bad ones at this point.
Yeah, okay, so if we're talking Warhammer, and
Yeah.
dear listener, talking about Warhammer is something I love to do,
Yeah.
but it's really hard to because even explaining the basics is very difficult.
Okay. Yeah.
Because once again, if I want to explain everything that's happening, you either have to start with something very specific and move outward,
Right.
or you have to do it chronologically. And if you really want to be thorough there, you have to start 60 million years ago.
So there's a lot of history in between.
Yeah, it gets bad. But anyone who wants to read Warhammer, I suggest starting with the Space Wolves Omnibus.
Okay.
It's a collection of there's two of these. It's a collection of 3 novels that stars a space wolf, a particular type of space marine called Ragnar Blackmane.
Okay.
And it starts
Oh,
with
Ragnar. Okay.
It starts with him being just a normal kid and getting like chosen to be a space marine.
So it goes through that whole
And,
kind of
yeah, it goes from him being a normal kid
Yeah.
to being number 2 in this legion of super killers.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think there's 7 books now. There were 6 when I read them.
Right. Okay. All right. I can dig that. So before we get into what we did this week in making characters from Dark Heresy, which was fun, honestly. Here's one thing we have to go over as well: rations.
All right, Kevin. I tried something this week, and I explicitly did it because I have not heard of it before.
Yeah.
And I realized I'd had nothing interesting to talk about this week. This is literally what I did Tuesday for this exact reason.
Okay. What did you try?
Low acid orange juice.
So how was your low acid orange juice, my man?
Quite good, actually.
Okay, good. Good.
It does have a different aftertaste than normal orange juice. It's a bit less tangy. But if you have acid reflux, which I seem to get like 1 month a year of just bad acid reflux.
Oh, the curse month. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Thankfully, it's already happened this year.
Okay, right.
But it's good to know this exists for that reason.
I didn't know they made like. Does it say on there low acid?
Yeah, no, it's explicitly for this.
Where'd you get it from?
Oh, this is my girlfriend's. I have no idea what
okay.
she got. She has worse acid reflux than I do, which
Okay.
like that's. I would not curse anyone with my levels, let alone worse. And there's certain things you can't have if you have bad acid reflux, and orange juice is one of them. So she wanted to have the taken for granted by most people joy of OJ.
Which honestly, I don't even like OJ that much, really.
Oh, I really do. I love everything about oranges.
Okay. You like blood oranges?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Not as much as normal oranges, but I do enjoy them.
Yeah, enjoy the variety.
Yeah, but I really love oranges. So this is just something I'm glad exists. I enjoyed it. It does have a slightly different taste. I did not mind it.
Yeah. So I wasn't. I gotta say, I was not expecting the low acid orange juice. I was expecting like anything else. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Neither did I until Tuesday. That was my election night drink. Saw on social media, everyone's bringing out 6-packs and bottles of whiskey and such.
Yeah.
I'm sipping on OJ, playing Dark Souls, waiting for updates.
Yeah, and seeing what happens. This is gonna be a long, arduous legal battle. So we'll see how that goes.
This is why the Empire is the superior government system.
Yeah, I agree.
Long live the Empress. Long live Dunkins.
And also, I burn Starbucks.
Burn the traitor. Skewer the mermaid.
I guess Starbucks would be the Eldar or something like that in this kind of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make the most sense to me because they're like,
they're even the right color. They're green and have a weird esoteric logo.
Yeah, and we'll and think they're better than everyone else.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I know someone explained to me like it's a goddess or something, but the weird like two-finned mermaid logo always like
Kind of skeeved you out a little bit, or
it's always weirded me out, but like not for the reason like it's not like
not for the
why the
reasons you
hell it's
think.
this why it's more of a why, I guess. It's not like a why'd you pick this symbol or is this some weird occult thing. It's just that's so random.
Do people think it's an occult thing?
Oh, sweet summer child.
don't don't pull that on me, right? And I am a summer child, and so yeah, no, you're
No,
not.
no, like please, there are people who think it's a cult thing and they put semen in lattes to turn people gay. Oh man, I have so many YouTube videos to show you
Is
of
that
crazy
Alex? Is that?
pastors.
Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be Alex Jones.
No, no, no.
No, no, he's got a brand deal with him.
To my knowledge, they're not affiliated with each other, but I could be wrong.
Okay, that's fair enough. Maybe some like off sector.
Yeah. I actually do listen to quite a lot of Alex Jones.
Oh, I
Um,
I remember you talking about this before. Yes. Okay.
yeah, and I've had arguments with friends of mine whether or not, really on two fronts, whether or not he's a complete charlatan
Or he's crazy.
or like he tries. And I'm on the complete charlatan thing because I tried to do some fact checking, and he does get some stuff right. I'm not going to say he's not, but after a certain point, he just starts making things up, and he'll just make claims like, "I will reveal who QAnon is on Thursday," and then never mention it again. Like it'll be his entire episode for that day.
Right, but maybe just like the information came back and like, oh well, I don't want to report things that are wrong.
Yeah, literally, if he said that, I would have nothing but respect. I have nothing but editorial, like the fact, like when newspapers have retractions and
Yeah.
corrections, I always appreciate those.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely.
If he said that, honestly, this would be a very different conversation.
Okay,
And the other one's whether or not he's on the spectrum or on cocaine.
gonna be both.
Yes, and
Okay.
I honestly think it's probably the combination. I maintain he's on, well, Brain Force.
Brain.
That's one of the vitamin things he sells. It's called Brain Force.
You know, you had like a thing with Joe Rogan recently.
I heard that.
Yeah, yeah. Which we also share the same platform, so Spotify. Hey, look at us. Oh God, they're our peers.
Yes, yes. Us and Joe Rogan, both equally trustworthy news sources.
Yeah, both news sources that believe in Sasquatch.
Wait, he believes in Sasquatch.
I'm very sure he believes in Sasquatch. I think there was like a whole episode where it's like, dude, I saw, this is how you wrestle somebody in UFC, and also Sasquatch is real. I think he believes in cryptids or something like that. I think so.
So, like, I've only listened to a couple episodes of his, and
Mr. Rogan.
I have nothing against him particularly.
I've got nothing against him either.
I don't like the format of the show. I can't like put anything particular on it, but it's just not for me. There's always certain things, like there's certain podcasts like Critical Role that's right up my alley. I just don't like the way it's formatted.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a similar thing.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But occasionally, just like these little things about him like leak out, and I'm like, wait, what type of weird drug does he do all the time?
I mean,
what? Wait, what? He thinks jackalopes are running through the western states.
I mean, that's not the weirdest thing people believe in per se, so that's fine. I mean,
we were talking about Mormons earlier.
Yeah, we were talking about Mormons earlier. That's true. By the way, so let's move on from that.
Yeah, we're gonna. No matter where we go from this, someone's gonna get pissed off.
That's fine. So let's go into what I had for my rations.
Yes, what did you have for? Oh God, I forgot we're still on that part of the show.
We're still on that part, but we'll get past that eventually. Either way, for my rations, I had something that Mormons can't even let you pour in front of you in like a bar, which is beer. I had two particular brands of beer. Sorry, not brands, but like it's from the same brand, but like two different flavors.
Okay.
I had Southern Tier, which is one of my favorite brands.
I have never heard of it.
They do like these really kind of like sweet stouts and sweet kind of beers and everything.
Okay.
So they had a caramel ale, and that was great. I love that. That was one of my favorite like ales I've had. It was like sweet and salty. A sweet and salty ale. I recommend it entirely. And they also had a nitro creme brulee.
That sounds amazing.
It was so amazing. I loved it so much. I mean, they used to have the me and my brother. We We used to have like the regular creme brulee, and
Yeah.
that was almost like sickeningly sweet. Where if you drank too many of it, you would just like get a just terrible sugar high, basically.
Yeah, no, I actually did have a sickeningly sweet stout this week.
Well, what was it called?
Snack pack.
What? Okay, was it like pudding flavored?
It was just very sweet. I can't tell
Okay.
you. It was. I went to a restaurant and I wanted to try, like, they had three things on their stout menu and or dark menu, should say. Two of them were stouts. One of which was a dark IPA.
I love that kind of stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
not a big IPA fan, but the name almost made me buy it.
Well,
It was called Thunder Buddy, which is a reference to the movie Ted.
yeah. Oh, yes. And have you seen Ted?
Yes, I've seen both Teds.
Okay, you've seen Ted 1 and Ted 2.
Yes.
Electric Boogaloo.
Um,
So,
yeah, but this is also
yeah.
a brewery that has a beer called Candy Mountain Charlie.
Uh, I I really want to try that really badly. Is good?
No. Like, the
Oh.
reason I didn't talk about these things this week in that mind was I didn't want to keep ragging on random food, but I'm doing it anyways.
Yeah, well, here we are. So instead of talking about that and ragging on it, you chose to talk about low acid orange juice.
I was pleasantly surprised by low acid orange juice.
I'm sure our listeners are very happy you talked about that instead. So
I don't want to be a spew of negativity, Kevin.
I don't want to be either, but if something's bad, it's bad, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Just like that grilled peanut butter and jelly or whatever you had.
Oh god, that was awful.
Yes, exactly. So talk about the bad things in
Okay,
life. It's
so
fine.
fine. You want me to? Okay, fine. I'll continue talking about the bad things. So anything, Kevin's dad had an awful moving plan.
Okay. So oh wait. Awful food. This is the food section. We already talked about our weeks. All right. You can't go backwards. All right. We can only go forwards. Otherwise, this will never end.
Okay.
You freaking jerk. I love you, Ted. All right. Yeah. So I had both of those things. They're really good. I recommend anybody, if you want to try something from Southern Tier, get those things. Don't get the regular creme brulee. Get the nitro creme brulee because it's really fantastic and it's smooth as butter.
Yeah, honestly, any nitro beer, I'm a fan of.
Yeah, I approve of all nitro beers. Kevin approves of this.
Yeah, that's one of the recent innovations of beer that I think really improved it.
There's like some dude sitting in the lab. Ted approves. My nitro invention. Fantastic. Thank you, Ted.
I mean, there are things I don't approve. I mean, I could talk about how everything is an IPA.
In Massachusetts, that's especially true. Everything is an IPA. It's just everyone loves them pale ales, man. I don't really get it.
I know so many people who hate pale ales. I feel like this is like a misconception that they're way more liked.
I don't know, but the people we know in general aren't always like the average Joe.
That is true.
So I feel like the average like family man just kind of sits back and like watches his kid take school through a computer and just like sips an IPA. Just enjoys that at 9 a.m. So
Yeah. Well, so from what I understand about IPAs, they're very easy to make. Also, they use hops for flavoring.
Yeah.
And when the craft beer sort of
movement.
Let's go with that. Started. People started planting their own hops.
Oh.
And
yeah.
Here's the problem with hops. It takes forever for them to grow. It takes like 5 years to get active hops they can use, and they make so much.
Yeah.
So there's just
overabundant. Okay.
There's so many extra hops, Kevin. It's really hard for them to use all the hops. Like, honestly, if you bought a ton of hops,
yeah,
the gasoline to transport them might cost more than the hops.
God. Okay. You know what we should do is make gas out of hops.
Kevin, edit this out. We have a $1 billion idea.
Oh my God. Yes, that's true. Okay, this is edited out. All right, that's fine. Jerry, yeah, make sure I edit this out, please. Thank you. Woo! All right, thanks, Jerry. All right.
The one time he's not barking, we get that back. The one time.
What do you mean? He was barking right there. Ted, you're going insane. So
it's morning, Kevin. I make no claims to sanity.
That's fair.
Look, I'm sane from about noon to 5.
Noon to 5. And then the sanity meter runs dry.
Yeah, they have like 5 hours of sanity a day.
Yeah, okay. That's a good amount of sanity, actually, really, when I think about it.
Yeah. If I have a particular project I'm working on, I also have like 2 hours of like good productivity a day.
I think that's normal, right?
Yeah, but they're not anywhere close to my hours of sanity.
Oh, okay. All right. So you. Okay.
Like, well, when I wrote my master's thesis, I started every day writing it at noon
Yeah.
and went to 2 in the morning. And my best writing hours were 10 to midnight.
The insane hours.
Yeah, basically, the sane hours was when I went through all the articles and everything and took notes.
Oh god, this is like a Cthulhu-esque uh, man sitting by like a little candlelight, just like writing his master. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, no, if it gets bad, this might get better or worse depending on who you are. I wrote the entire thing in a bar.
I think better.
Yeah.
I think better. Honestly,
Legitimately, my entire master's thesis was written in a bar.
some people really want to do that. So,
If I ever make an autobiography, that might just be what it is.
oh, like the title is that? I wrote my thesis in a bar. That's a good title,
Yeah.
honestly. All right, be on the lookout for that eventually.
Yeah, and it's not my thesis. Dear God, I recently reread that, and oh my God, I feel bad for the people who had to review it. Oh.
What'd you get on it?
So it's on the Belgian system. So it's
Oh, it's a waffle.
yes. I got
How many waffles out of a waffle maker did you get?
no, I got 14 stoat waffles out of a potential 20, which sounds bad. Like that's a 70 in United States standards.
Yeah.
50 is passing in that one, and about in the school I went to, 2/3 of the people drop out or flunk out. So honestly, getting a 70 is not bad.
Yeah. Okay. You know what, Ted? Fair enough.
Yeah, so I was proud of that. Now, interesting enough, I had 3 judges for mine, and one of them liked it way more than the other two.
Oh, so that okay, I see.
No matter what, I would have passed, but it was very interesting seeing like how the 3 of them looked at it because a lot of it was explaining and other people's work and blah 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 blah.
Right.
And one guy just didn't like it. My actual advisor was met on it, and this third guy was just fascinated by the idea of these 2 theories of consciousness being together.
Okay, right. That's okay. That's interesting how that works out, just like that 3-judge system. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah. So speaking of interesting,
Dark Heresy.
Dark Heresy.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I had trouble picking games for Suburban Sasquatch.
Yeah.
I mean, I went back and forth. It was like Beyond Supernatural. No, I'm not going to do another Palladium game so quickly. The Supernatural RPG. No, I feel like there's better games for that. The Buffy RPG, definitely better games than that.
Yeah,
Okay, think. All right, let's prove Kevin wrong about effort and everything.
So it's kind of like a spike choice.
I think it was thematic though.
Yeah, it was. It was. I agree.
However, having seen Event Horizon, like halfway through the movie, I just looked at Kevin and said, "Oh, we're playing Dark Heresy next week." Like there was no possibility.
There was no hesitation.
No, like it was so obvious what the choice should be.
Yep. And as you explained Dark Heresy to me, because I never even heard that like title before in my life, I was like, oh, that makes complete sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right.
no. It's so listeners now. Dark Heresy is one of the Warhammer 40K RPGs. There's quite a few of them, depending on what tone you want. Dark Heresy is the sort of dark investigation and everything. It's
Right.
closer to like a Call of Cthulhu book than you'd think.
Okay.
You're looking for mutant, demonic, or alien influences in society.
Yeah.
You're always at the 11th hour. You're the last bastion of hope
Right.
in a dark universe. And even if you save the day, the price will likely be your sanity, your soul, and millions of lives. Like, it is a dark game.
Yeah. There's not necessarily a good or happy ending.
No, there's a few other games. They have Only War, where you play just a soldier in this world.
Yeah. Okay.
Rogue Trader, where you play some of the very few like free adventure capitalists, really, because you can go. You're like one of the few people that can trade with aliens and explore beyond the borders of the Empire.
Right.
This weird space empire that's there. There's Death Watch, you play a Space Marine. I think there's some dark ones that like you play a Chaos Champion. I don't entirely know. But
There's a lot.
there's a lot of Warhammer stuff. There's a lot of Warhammer stuff. However, seeing keep wanting to say Event Horizon.
Oh, okay. Just Event Horizon's right. Yeah.
Sorry, I meant to say Log Horizon there.
Oh.
Which is a excellent anime.
No, it's not. But we can talk about that later. You
Yeah.
can make me watch the. There's probably a stupid movie or
Didn't
something
you
like.
make me? I thought you've seen it already.
I've seen like Log Horizon. I just bet there's like a movie or something.
No, there isn't even a season 2.
Oh, thank God. I wonder why.
Me too.
Whatever.
But
Whatever, Ted. You and your freaking Log
I
Horizon.
liked Log Horizon.
No, it's not good. It's got like a weird lolly character in it.
Meh.
You do.
Anyways,
Oh, Ted likes lollies here, confirmed.
I really don't. That's a different. 1 second. Kevin is getting a telegraph.
I'm getting a telegraph. Hello? Yeah, what's up?
Bumblebee, bumblebee, tuna, I love bumblebee, bumblebee, tuna, bumblebee, bumblebee, tuna.
Who's that
I
nerd
love
you said?
tuna,
That's
me
my
love
friend Ted.
bumblebee.
What's up?
Alright, Biglet, make sure your phone's on.
All right, you got a doglet. Oh, by the way, you're on the podcast right now. Is there anything we want to say to the listeners?
Yeah, you're listening to the two weirdest people on earth. No, just kidding. One's
That's
my
our selling
brother,
point. Don't
one's
say
my
just
brother's
kidding.
friend.
I was singing Bumblebee
No.
Tuna while Kevin was on the phone. I demand the title Weirdest Person on Earth.
Yeah, he deserves that.
Just kidding. Alright, talk to you later.
All right, love you, Benny. Bye. Okay, so that was the caller hour where we get a random caller and they talk on the podcast for a little bit. Ted, let's go back to Dark Heresy.
All right, so Event Horizon is kind of a fan favorite of the 40K community, saying it's sort of a prequel to 40K because they both share one common element, and that's faster than light travel going through literal hell.
Yeah, and as you could really see like Event Horizon transform into that as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm almost positive that Warhammer just flat out stole that from Event Horizon. They stole a lot of things. But given the world, given how faster than light travel worked,
Yeah.
It made perfect sense. Now, in 40K, they do have a few safety features from this warp when doing faster than light travel, which they didn't have then.
Yeah.
They go through, and they went through, if I had to guess, a domain of one of the Chaos Gods, Slanesh, the god of dark pleasures and everything, because they're all smiling while ripping each other apart.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that.
But in 40K, they have a few things to help. One is something called the Geller field, which is basically a force field that goes around the ship and provides a pocket of real space.
Yeah, to protect against. Okay, yeah.
Secondly, you have a special mutant on board with 3 eyes. Kevin does not know about these yet.
What is it called, Ted?
A navigator.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Another thing stolen from Dune. Down to the fact they have 3 eyes and slowly become fish people.
Okay.
But unlike the Dune navigators, they can't see the future. They
all right.
can, however, see kind of through the warp and see its tides to help navigate the currents. But
yeah, very influenced by like seafaring and everything like that.
They are navigators, functionally.
Yeah.
But there is one lighthouse. In Warhammer 40K, there is Holy Terra, where the God Emperor sits, the capital of the Imperium of Man. And his divine radiance shines out through the warp. And basically acts as a lighthouse for these people. It's the one fixed point.
Can I ask you a question really quick?
Yes.
Okay. Is the Emperor like a literal god?
Great question, Kevin. You want the long answer or the short answer? Or the medium answer? I can try and make a medium answer.
Medium?
All right. The Emperor is an incredibly powerful psychic.
Okay.
When he was alive and walking properly,
yeah,
he constantly denied his own divinity.
Okay.
However, his favored son was corrupted by chaos, and they had a fight. The Emperor couldn't bear to kill his favorite son up until a lone guardsman, just a normal dude, came in to try to help the Emperor.
Yeah.
And Horus just incinerated him without a second thought and with malice.
Yeah.
And this gave the Emperor kind of a chance to overcome his humanity almost and completely destroy Horus, mind, body, and soul.
Okay, right.
He was too injured to recover even with his great might. The wounds inflicted by Horus were charged with the maleficent powers of the warp.
Yeah.
And he could never truly heal.
Yeah.
So he was entombed on an ancient alien device called the Golden Throne, where he still sits today. Now, why he's there is basically, during that, he was also holding back a portal that another son of his accidentally opened to hell.
Oh, he's got like a bunch of screw up sons.
He has 21.
Are they all different, varying levels of bad?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Even the good ones aren't amazing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, okay, I don't have too many bad things to say about Russ or Gilliman, but Gilliman, he's boring.
Okay. Fair enough.
But two of them got purged. We don't know why.
Okay.
9 of them turned traitor.
Out of 21, huh? So far 11 are not great.
Yeah. Now, admittedly, 2 of those are that turned traitor are identical twins that share a soul. Once again, Kevin, there's a reason I did not say I'm going to explain all of 40K to you. Like, listener, if you're confused, you should be. This is not going to be a...
Does it count as one?
So they have the same gestation chamber, but they are 2 bodies. So it's however you want to
define that. I guess.
It's normally counted as 20. I say 21.
Okay.
Yeah. Guess what if you could guess what the name of this person was, or these people.
It wasn't like something like Gemini or something like that, was it?
Alpharius Omegon.
Okay. I see. Okay.
Oh man, you got some beautiful Primarch names.
Yeah.
The Night Stalker. I mean, you do get some cool ones. Magnus the Red is a pretty cool name.
That is pretty cool. That also sounds like a pirate.
Yeah. Leman of the Rust, Wolf King of Fenris, Lord of Winter and War.
That's also really cool. Okay.
Yeah. Mortarion,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Sanguinius, the Red Angel.
Okay. All right. You know what? This is better than Palladium. Not hard.
Yeah. Here, I will disprove that in a moment, but as I look up a name.
Okay.
But Warhammer does have cool ones. Malkador the Sigilite is really Constantine Valdor.
So I don't think you answered my question.
What was
Is
the
he a
question?
god?
So he's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
However, in Warhammer, belief and emotion have power.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now.
And he's been worshipped for about 12,000 years now. So whether or not he has become a god is a legitimate question.
So I does that give him? I would think that would give him power, right? As soon as you are believed to be a god that much, I guess.
Yeah. So he already had quite a bit of power. I mean,
Yeah.
He also stole a bunch of power from the Chaos Gods.
Nice.
Depending on what source, he might also be about 1,000 shamans that all made a suicide pact and reincarnated with a super soul in one person.
Okay.
So he's already once again, this gets confusing.
Yep. Yeah. All right.
But if he's not a god, he's pretty close, and even the demons of the warp call him the anathema.
What does that mean exactly?
It's like antimatter to them.
Oh, okay.
He is the opposite of them. If the gods are gods of chaos, he is order.
Okay, and that's that is interesting that there's 4 gods of. Is there 4?
There are 4 major gods.
4. Okay, major gods of chaos, and there's 1 god of order, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
not
about
fair.
Right.
That's not fair at all.
No, it's not.
Okay, yeah.
However, most people think the Emperor is divine, even if he's not, and most of the time doesn't really act directly in their
lives, I guess.
Yeah, at all. There are some people that do, but not many.
Yeah.
And as you have so many enemies,
yeah,
there's a lot of protectors.
Right, okay.
One of the strangest ones in this weird world, it's a galactic spanning empire. Faster than light travel and communication is unreliable and dangerous.
Yeah.
So, kind of out of necessity, the galaxies become very feudal. Even if you're in a very advanced world that uses a normal culture like we have today, you might also just owe a fief of 1/10 your income. It's very interesting like that. You're owed certain soldiers and everything to Holy Terra and the Empire.
Yeah. Which, okay, I get that.
Yeah. So, because there's so much self-governing planets and sectors and all that, there needs to be some people that have enough power to go around and make sure everything's okay. These are Inquisitors.
Oh, so you're telling me in Dark Heresy that you get to play as the Inquisitors?
No, Kevin. God, no. What the hell? No. Okay, so Kevin, let me put it this way.
Yeah.
There's a planet in one of the novels that an Inquisitor lands on and announces he's an Inquisitor and everything.
Yeah.
People drop to their knees and start worshiping me. He is as close to the Emperor as they will get to see in their lives.
Okay.
He is direct representative as far as everyone's concerned.
Yeah.
You don't get that. You can play an acolyte of an Inquisitor.
Okay.
His henchmen, his trainees,
Entourage.
retinue is actually the term they use.
Retinue. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And as you can imagine, it's a colorful cast of characters that one of these powerful and most likely eccentric individuals pick up. Now, before we get too much forward, I want to go back and take two.
Yeah.
And prove to Kevin that Warhammer does not always have great names. So, Kevin, I'm going to show you a name of one of the original Inquisitors in Warhammer lore.
Okay.
And I want you to read it out loud.
Yeah. Okay. I think it went off on. Oh, I see it. Okay. Obi-Wan, Sherlock, Colossu.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the last one either. I think he's also a detective or something. But yeah, that's an actual Inquisitor.
So, to not only steal the name Obi-Wan, but also Sherlock as well, and just like kind of force combine them together. Like, do you get he's like a space detective?
Yeah.
Did you get that?
Yeah. Also, Colossus is apparently the detective in the Pink Panther series.
What? Why would you combine those three things together?
It actually does kind of fit Warhammer.
What?
In the early days, Kevin, it was a lot wackier.
Okay. I'm just thinking of like Dark Heresy and how like that is. So I like having one of those guys around would be kind of funny. You have like this very serious like of the Blood Angels and Magnus the Red, and then you have Obi-Wan, Sherlock, Colossu. That seems like a mismatch of tone, just a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So getting back to the dark tone.
Yeah.
You as an Inquisitor's retinue will be tasked with investigating 3 or 4, depending on how you. Let's go with 4 types of crime: treachery, heresy, which those two might be combined depending on how you think. Xeno infiltration. Xeno it just means alien.
Yeah.
And demonic incursions.
And that's separate from heresy.
Yes.
Okay. But heresy could lead to.
Yes.
Okay. And treachery could be leading to heresy, which
Or
could be leading.
Well, no, since the Emperor, even though he's kind of in a coma right now.
Yeah.
But he has his own High Lords of Terror that make laws in his name.
Yeah.
Because he's a god and they do it in his name, any breaking of the law is, in fact, a religious crime.
Oh, so. Oh, okay. Oh. So it's all technically.
It's all technically heresy.
Okay. So what's treachery then?
Treachery would be like going against one, planetary ruler.
Okay, so specifically just like a planetary ruler, like a subordinate.
It'd be very hard to commit treachery without also committing heresy. It does occasionally happen. For example, there's these type of cult leaders for and a sect of the Imperial Creed called Redemptionists.
Yeah.
And they are radicals, and they like burning people alive a lot. And they like taking over planetary governments a lot.
Mm.
And the ecclesiarchy, the sort of official religion, kinda has to deal with these guys because they're not doing anything wrong.
Technically.
Yeah, but they're very unstabilizing. Thankfully, they make amazing troops.
That's good at least. Yeah.
So you launch a holy crusade against a local alien planet, and depending on how much you want these guys gone versus the planet, you just might not give them the right amount of supplies.
I see. And
if they bring what's on their back, and if the Emperor truly wants them to win.
Yeah. So, yeah, sort of like the crazy shock troops you send in just to hope they kill each other, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. So there is some wiggle room.
There's some wiggle room, yeah.
Most of the time, they're heretical cults, sometimes demon worshipping cults, sometimes alien worshipping cults.
Oh, people like worship orcs?
No, there's a particular type of alien that actually inserts its genes into certain people. They're called gene stealers for that reason. Sort of.
Yeah.
And it causes them to birth mutants, and they can actually make a psionic web of like a cult.
Okay.
And they send out active recruiters, act like a normal religion or movement.
Yeah.
those recruiters go out, bring people in. A lot of them are just normal people. As they get closer and closer to the revolution,
Yeah.
those all get infected too, so no one's really safe from this alien mind cult.
Yeah.
And then they throw a coup, and they take over completely. They've already infiltrated a lot of government and military, so that happens. And then one of two things will happen depending on where the planet is located in comparison to the closest Tyranid swarm.
Yeah.
One is, if the Tyranid swarm's far away, they continue this cult. They spread it to every planet they can.
Yeah.
Cult representatives go on the ships. They infect other planets when taxes come, and just keep moving and moving. However, there's a force in this world called Tyranids. They are aliens from beyond the Milky Way galaxy.
Yeah.
And all they do is consume planets. Every bit of mass they can.
So, Zerg.
Zerg are based on them.
Okay.
Quite
gotcha.
literally, that StarCraft was made to be a Warhammer game, and then the licensing agreement fell through.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, there we are.
Yeah. Man, did they lose a lot of money on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Darn right they did.
It was a really bad decision on their part.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But Gene Stealers are actually their vanguard force.
Okay.
Their psychic web is a mini bit of the hive mind of the Tyranids, and it's basically a giant beacon saying, ready to consume biomass.
Okay. I see. Okay, that's pretty cool.
So you have to stop that as quickly as possible. So if you get any words of, new cults happening,
yeah,
it might. If it's a normal cult, it's already bad enough because if anyone finds a bit of demonic lore, you're screwed.
Yeah.
If it's Gene Stealer's cult, you have to wipe out every man, woman, and child.
That's not great. That's not great at all, man.
No, it's not. Now, Inquisitors are busy people.
Of course.
Their retinues might be sent off by themselves to do a lot of missions.
Right. Okay.
Or even submissions. He might be investigating one area,
yeah.
and you're investigating a continent on the other side of the planet. There's multiple cults in this world. Which one's the bad one?
Right.
Well, all of them need to be destroyed, but which one gets priority, or do we just have to blow up the planet?
Yeah. As you do.
They have that authority.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the retinue goes off on its own and does investigation.
Yeah.
Now, the characters, the retinue, can be picked and can be made randomly. And me and Kevin made them randomly with tables and upon tables of rolling.
I think that's the funnest way to do it so far.
Oh, yeah, 100%. If you can make a random character, make a random character.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, unfortunately, random characters are random, and I feel like Kevin has got shafted comparatively both times.
In terms of interesting characters, yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
in terms of like stats and everything, like pretty good.
Yeah, no, Kevin's rolled better stats than I have. But I still feel like all my characters are like, I want to play these people.
That's true. And and a couple of these guys are like, whatever. But yeah. Yours is the more interesting, whether it's a elf with like weird tentacle arms that we had from last time and nails in its hands.
Or this week, I got a space cowboy.
Yeah, a literal space cowboy.
Actually, that was kind of Kevin's idea. But anyway, so what you start off with is you roll on your character's origin. The types of different worlds. You can be from these massive hive worlds with trillions of people.
Yeah.
Just cities made up like beehives, built on top of each other, where space is at such a premium, you will likely have to walk through your neighbor's apartments to get to work, where if you are not on the first 50 levels of this 10,000 level hive, the air will have been recycled 12 times before you get it.
Yeah.
Where one of the food stuff that you will eat regularly is corpse starch.
What is corpse starch?
You dehydrate a corpse, and then you make it into starch, and then you bake it into stuff.
Yeah, I don't like that.
There's a guild that's responsible for making that on one of the planets. Necromundo is very strange.
Yes. Okay.
So,
now
that Kevin's got a little bit more of the darkness of the setting. By the way, that's a good world.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that one has a lot of internal strife about, noble houses sponsoring gang warfare in order to get like contracts and factory rights and exploitation.
Right. Okay. With your corch.
Perfectly legal.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. That sounds like a great world to go.
Necromundo actually has, I think, its own supplement for Dark Heresy, along with most of the other games.
Oh, nice.
Its own video game and board game and novels.
That's really cool. Okay.
Weirdly enough, it's not one of the worlds I care about, so I don't really dig into that one.
Oh, okay.
I don't have anything against it. It's like, that seems small scale for 40K.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. Compared to everything else.
Yeah, so that's one type of world. You can also be from a spaceship or a feral world where, literally 12-foot tall wolves hunt you, or like Catachan, where, and this is true, everything on the planet tries to kill you.
The plants, the trees, the everything.
Yes.
Okay. Why do they live there?
They crash landed.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then the settlement was made, and then when the Imperium found them, they found that this planet breeds an amazing jungle fighter.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So they give them supplies because they can't grow anything on their planet.
How do they survive?
They trade soldiers for supplies.
Okay. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yep. That's your fiefdom right there. So.
Yep, you get the point.
Yep. All right. Fantastic.
Yep. Fun fact, demons invaded there. The demons lasted like a week.
That's great. That's like the planet has its own self-defense system, basically. And it just kills everything.
Yeah, and that didn't kill the Catachans did.
Okay.
Because they're just used to having to keep the plants away from their cities, so they have to bomb 2 miles around their cities all the time.
Right, okay.
So when you have that much explosive ordnance ready for daily use...
Yeah, you're fine. Demons are fine.
It's like, oh, there's an army coming. We got 2 weeks spare payload, right?
Yeah.
Fire it.
Fantastic. Okay.
So, Kevin and I rolled for Origins. I got a Imperial world, which is just the bog standard classification for just a normal planet that isn't extreme enough to warrant one of the other cool classifications.
Yeah.
I rolled on a subtitle. I am from a world where flintlock pistols are newfangled.
Which is awesome, by the way.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. And Kevin here was born in space.
Yes, I was void born.
Yeah, so he was born on one of these ships. We rolled in his subtitle, and the rogue traders, those few people chartered to have true freedom and trade with foreign empires and explore and all that. Well, he was born on one of those ships. He was part of that mini fiefdom in space.
Yes. Which is cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
So, depending on what origin you have, your class selections, or career paths, I should say, are limited. So, I rolled, and I got Arbiter.
Well, you rolled and you got Scum first, and then I chose Scum.
Yeah. So we weren't going to have 2 scum. At level 1, that'd be very similar.
Yeah, that'd be almost exactly the same. So can't have that.
Oh no, we could definitely make different scum.
Well, yeah, specializing in different things, I suppose. But yeah.
Yeah, but no. Then I re-rolled and I got Arbiter. Arbiters are the Judge Dredd ripoff. Now I wasn't an actual Arbiter. I was like one of their retinue.
Yeah.
So me and Kevin basically both play characters that have worked with similar power before they got recruited by the Inquisitor.
Basically, yes.
Functionally, this was just a departmental transfer for both of us.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah.
However, since I was from a world that was nearing the end of the feudal age, there might be a couple industrial cities on the planet, but serfdom still exists in a few parts of rural France.
Yeah.
Like that era. I played a frontier arbiter assistant who went around with his flintlock pistol.
Yep, and kept the peace.
And kept the peace, enforcing imperial law, not inferior law. Which mostly means tax collection and making sure people go to church on Sunday.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Also, there's a name table, which I thought was amazing, and I picked an archaic name, and I got Havelock. So I'm playing Constable Havelock Space Cowboy.
Which is great.
I want to play Dark Heresy with this character now in the worst freaking way.
Yeah.
Kevin, tell me about your character.
Okay. So also rolled, got the Void. And by the way, Voidborn are taller, gangly, very gray skin. From what I recall, you telling me, just because they're born in space.
Yes, and then you roll in these sub charts of things about your character.
Yeah.
So like Kevin here has like this, what was it, limping gait or something?
I have a limping gait, and I'm also gangly.
Yeah. Meanwhile, my character is average height, brown hair, brown eyes, and only distinctive factor is a faint smell.
Yeah, which we determined was tobacco.
Yes, we determined that he smokes a pipe while he's doing this,
Yeah,
and like it's just the smell of that. Like interesting enough, he's you can't get pipe tobacco, but you can get like cigarettes on most planets.
yeah,
So he just empties the cigarettes into his pipe and smokes them.
yeah, which is awesome, and I love that so much.
Kevin, tell me more about your scum.
Okay, my scum was born on a rogue trader ship. He is named Ratabu or Retablam, I'll say. Um, also is like 53 years old. Happens to be ambidextrous, which is cool.
Ambidextrous is a damn useful ability.
That's a really useful one. Yeah. And yeah, has just been selling drugs and been working as like a scum lord this whole entire life. And then he just got picked up by an Inquisitor.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of like the backstory of that. So it's like whether or not you have a normal job on the
On the
rogue
side.
trader
Yeah.
ship and then just sell drugs aside, or if like when you go to a planet, you're like his unofficial or official like drug liaison person.
Yeah.
Like, do you go out and when you're there, it's like great, sell as much of the cocaine as you can.
I like that idea better. So, what's that Alex Jones drug again?
Brain force.
Yeah, we sell Brain Force. I have a side gig of selling Brain Force on alien planets. And it's a really bad idea. So don't take Brain Force, but I will tell, and I'll tell all these Eldar to take it all day.
Yeah. So, oh god, that I like that character so much more now.
Goblins, I tell you, and it makes the Eldar gay.
They're called Gretchen in this universe. They're a subspecies of orc.
Okay, yeah. I like this character a lot more now too.
Yeah. Okay. That does kind of end what I thought if we ever played this character would be like a Hong Kong cinema adventure.
Yeah, this changes things a little bit, but this changes things a lot actually.
But so after you've done that and you roll through your stats, you do get some basic skills, and then you get some XP to buy some starting skills or advances or anything. So my character, for example, got quick draw, rapid reload, and primitive pistol skill. So he does in fact use a flintlock. Now it took me a while to figure this out, but my character did start with weapon proficiency SP.
Yeah.
It took me way too long to figure out what that means.
What does it mean? I still don't know.
Solid projectile.
Oh, okay. So like
Like the shotgun he starts out with.
Okay.
So I have a perfectly functional shotgun.
And you chose to go with the flintlock instead.
that I can use. Instead, I chose the flintlock pistol.
I respect that.
Yeah, Kevin, what did you pick for your first advancements?
So for my first advancements, I picked ground driving. I picked like dodge. I picked like barter. Charm was a big one in itself. So just like the face, basically skills.
Yeah. So you all, when you make the character, you all roll for stats. Depending on your origin, you get some bonuses. In this game, if you're trying to do something you're trained in and have a skill in, your goal is to roll underneath your stat. Now, this doesn't apply for all things.
Yeah.
If you're trained in driving, 90% of the time, you do not have to roll for driving.
Which is good.
When you do, though, you have to roll under your stat. And stats in this game are low.
Yeah.
My highest stat is 42 on a percentile die.
So I would say around like 50% of the time you fail.
Yeah, well, at least with that one, I have a bonus from my laser sight on my flintlock pistol, so it's actually 52.
And you also have as a skill rapid reload. So how long does it normally take to load a flintlock pistol head?
3 turns.
Okay, how long does it take with rapid reload?
1.5.
So I mean, that's better.
Yeah, it's better. Oh, Kevin, it gets better because look, so we're going to be focusing a lot on this game and the arbiter skills for a second.
Yeah.
So whenever you get to a certain threshold of XP, you get another part of your career. And eventually you get to a branching path on which part of the career you want. Occasionally, on the new careers, there'll be a skill that's already been listed.
Yeah.
If you take that again, that skill gets with a plus 10 bonus, and you can do this up to 3 times.
Yep, to make you eventually good at something.
Yeah, basically. Arbiter does not have primitive pistols after the first career.
I assume they think you're going to be not using a primitive pistol at that
So
point.
I looked up, like, compared to a few other things. For example, like guardsmen.
Yeah.
They have a couple options, and one of them is you can get more powerful weapons. So you get bolt weapons and plasma weapons and these cool melta things.
Yeah.
And you'll still be pretty bad with them, but the fact that you can use them means the 1 in 4 times you hit
Yeah.
will kill things.
Which is awesome. Yeah.
Or you can specify. You can still use the rifle, but instead of hitting, let's start out. Let's say it's something similar to me and have like 50%.
Yeah.
By the end of it, you'll have an 80% chance of hitting with it.
Right. Which is a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah, both are good. Arbiter only has the option to like go wide with their weapon choices,
which is beautiful.
Yeah, so without one special exception, I would never be able to do that. Like, I could never become a pistol person. There are of course other ways around it. There are talents you can pick, which are like miscellaneous bonuses that you unlock the same way. You get them as you go.
Yeah.
With the ability to unlock them, and there are certain things that apply to guns. I can do sure shot, which increases my critical range. So when I do eventually get the kill shot, it has a much higher chance of actually being a kill shot.
Right. With your flintlock.
With my flintlock. Sorry, the fact that I have a flintlock pistol in space is my favorite thing.
That is the best thing about this.
It is. It's the best part about this. So you can do that. You can increase your ballistic skill for quite a bit of XP, but that applies to everything.
Which is nice. Yeah.
Yeah. However, Kevin, there are 2 ways to properly increase that skill, but you need a DM that's willing to talk to you about it. You can't just design your own career path.
Right.
That's one of the first things. It's like if you want to play a former farmer.
Yeah.
Like, and one thing's like there's one of the main livestock in this game are called groks.
Okay.
They're these lizard things. They grow super quickly. They eat everything. They're incredibly nutritious and tasty.
Yeah.
They're violent as all hell, though. The majority of them are lobotomized.
Okay, so it's like a super violent cow that you just have to like lobotomize.
Yeah.
for.
However, some people do ride them.
Oh.
And if you were a Grox riding space farmer, like that would be an amazing character for this game.
That would be that'd be pretty cool.
So I could theoretically have talked to my DM beforehand and go, hey, can we make one that only does primitive stuff? Can I be this I want to say Lombard, but I know that's wrong.
Yeah.
Lugart.
I think I know what you're trying to say. I just don't know the term for it.
This intentional neo-primitive.
Yeah.
However, there's also something called elite advancements, which is also things you work out with the DM, or they give as rewards. So let's say you do excellent job in your mission.
Yeah.
And you guys have started either using something that's close to a skill or a talent. Your DM can go, hey, you guys now have the option of buying this.
Oh, okay, I see. So you would just have the option of buying that primitive weapon.
Yeah,
okay.
Or the other one is if you want to make the argument that you should be able to buy that, you can. And let's say after 2 career paths, I go, I've literally only used a flintlock pistol.
I deserve this.
Can I buy it?
I've limited myself intentionally, please.
Can I please get better at this flintlock pistol?
I put a laser sight on it, for God's sakes. Come on.
I love that
and
so
a
much.
Silencer.
And an under-barreled knife.
Oh, yeah. A bayonet, if you will. Which is,
well,
okay.
Bayonets generally go in the barrel, so this is like it's attached to it.
Okay, that's true. And how would that work for just like when they get close, just stab it like that?
Kevin, this is an audio medium. No one can tell what you're doing.
I know, but that makes it kind of funnier.
I mean, either way, there's a pointy end on it. Just jab it in their general direction.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say genitals.
That works too.
That works too. But just a side question, by the way. Are there orc women?
Orcs don't have gender.
Okay.
Orcs reproduce by spores.
I can't say by budding.
No, they spore.
Okay.
So
they're like mushrooms.
Yes, they're also photosynthetic.
Oh, green skin. Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, okay, Kevin asked for it. Time for me to explain something about Warhammer.
Okay.
Orcs were genetically engineered roughly 6D million years ago to be a warrior species. Originally, they were better than what they currently are. They have degraded. Orcs have an instinctual understanding of technology.
Yeah.
They have actually a caste of them that are called, like, not brain boys, mech boys now.
Yeah.
That have an intrinsic understanding of technology, and sort of psychic hive mind they have is actually what powers them. This way, their technology can't fall into enemy hands.
Oh.
Only an orc can use it.
Right.
It doesn't make sense enough for anything else to do it.
Okay, that's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, orcs make spores throughout their life and release a ridiculously large amount of them when they die. They just stay underground and come out fully grown.
Oh, okay.
They get larger the more violent and older they get, and they instinctually obey those larger than them. It makes a genetic and instinctual command hierarchy.
Okay.
They are made to be warriors and fight a war that they did win.
It's just what do you do with all these orcs that just know
Well,
how to
the
fight?
people that were supposed to get rid of them afterwards were basically all dead. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, so that's orcs, Kevin.
Okay. You know what? That's more. That's. And then the Grex are just subspecies of orcs.
So there are 4 types of orcs.
Okay.
The main orcs, 2 meters tall, big muscular things, which have their own caste system. Some of them are psychic. Some of them have medical information just built into them. Some have the ability to make machines, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Then there are Gretchen, which are kind of goblins.
Yeah.
And they're sort of the support staff. They basically come out when a orc can't properly form.
Oh,
When
okay.
underground there's not enough nutrition or something.
Yeah. So they're like, I guess, runts of the litter.
Yeah, but they come out and they have basically there's a contingency plan for that.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, that's smart.
Yep. Below them is grots.
Okay.
Grots are dumb as rocks and have very particular role, and it's mostly to farm squigs. Squigs are the last form, and they are these weird, noodly, wormy things, which are the most basic type. They also spread normal types of fungus around, which become tended to by the grots. They're basically the farming caste.
Yeah.
And squigs act as cattle, transportation. There's one type that eats things and ferments them into alcohol.
Oh, okay. Good for them.
Yeah. No, once an orc lands and dies,
Yeah.
an entire ecosystem will start forming on your planet.
Wow. So how do you get rid of that?
Fire.
Oh, okay. That's it. Just fire in the spores and fire.
Fire.
Fire. Okay. I gotta say that's like orcs are the worst things ever.
Yeah. Oh, Space Marines were designed just to kill orcs.
Okay.
Their bolter round, which is like diamond tipped, made with depleted uranium and everything, is made explicitly to pierce orc hide and destroy them.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. No. Literally, Space Marines are designed to kill orcs.
Right, and they can also kill demons sometimes
They
too.
can kill everything else.
Yeah. But specifically designed to kill
everything
orcs.
about them is made to be better than orcs.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. That's tough.
Yeah. By the way, in Dark Heresy, when you're just playing a human, an orc is no joke.
Yeah. It's kill you dead.
Yeah, like they are rough and they
Okay.
are tough. And given how, one of my criticism of the system is how much you miss.
Yeah.
Now, I'm using a single shot weapon. This is not the best thing, but let's say I used a generic laser weapon and I fire a few shots a turn or something.
Yeah.
I would still miss half of them.
Mm.
And that's before any enemy has the dodge skill or is behind cover.
Yeah. So it's really tough to shoot or hit anything.
Yes.
Okay. God, how do you survive in this game, Ted?
What's a survival thing you're talking about? Most of you do not expect your character to live long.
All right, so let me ask you this then. I would assume like the game has like a good fair health system, right?
Fair, yes.
Okay. Is it something that if I get hurt, I can come back from it pretty easily? Like
So this is where we're talking about. So there's wounds in this game,
okay,
and every character has a certain amount of wounds based on a die roll and their class, or origin, I should say. And then whenever you take damage, you take a certain amount, and you subtract your armor from that and your
Yeah.
toughness or your toughness modifier.
Yeah.
And anything above that goes to your wounds. Now, Kevin, if you take about up to a third of your wounds, you're lightly wounded and you can re-heal one a day.
Yeah.
Past that, you're fairly wounded and may need surgery or take a month off.
right.
Now, the fun part is when you hit 0 wounds or less, because then anything that hits you is a critical.
Okay.
And when you're on death's door, criticals do cool things.
Nice.
So, when you do that, you roll on a chart. By the way, you always roll where they hit because some areas might not be armored or something.
Right. Yeah.
But you roll where you hit, and then you add a modifier based on how many wounds they've already taken, everything, and
Yeah.
if you have +2 crit. So if you have like the sure shot thing, which I would take with my flintlock wielder. I
Yeah.
get +2 to this. And then you roll. And Kevin, we've looked at a few of these. They are remarkably lethal.
Yes, they are. Yes.
Sorry, I'm actually trying to get one up right now because, oh my god. But just as a general rule, if you roll a 1 on your D10, you're probably fine. You might be stunned a little bit.
Yeah, you might lose feeling in a hand or something like that.
Yeah, you might drop your weapon. You might lose a turn or something. Okay, Kevin, pick a body part.
Torso.
Okay, body. Pick me a number 1 through 10.
7.
7. Okay, so I happen to get energy weapon.
Okay.
So, you get hit by a laser. The immense power of the energy attack cooks the target's organs, burning his lungs and heart with intense heat. The target is stunned for 2d10 rounds, and his toughness is reduced by half round down.
Like forever?
Until you have extensive surgery or possibly a replacement.
God, that's rough. That's really rough.
Yeah. 9 is the target is completely encased in fire, melting his skin and popping his eyes like superheated eggs. He falls to the ground, a blackened corpse.
And there goes your character.
Yeah, once you crit, once you get crit, there is just like, assuming everything's going right and you haven't taken any, and there's no modifiers, you have a 1 in 5 chance of just dying. A 9 or 10 is just death.
Yeah.
Hell, depending where you are, 10 might also hurt your allies.
What's 10 do?
For that one, the previous, so blackened corpse.
Yeah.
Except there's a 50% chance any ammo on you explodes.
Ted, just like you get shot with this, and then like your black powder that you keep on you is just like your body explodes outward and kills me as well.
Yep, that's how the campaign would end.
Yeah,
but I mean,
it's a fitting ending.
The chance of just losing a limb,
yeah,
is really high.
But you get cybernetic replacements depending.
Yeah, and if you can afford the good ones, they're upgraded.
Oh yeah. So there's that at least.
Yep. Now,
a little bit of Shadowrun going.
Exactly. Now, as your character advances, you might not just lose your body. Much more concerning is when you lose your mind and soul.
Yes.
So there is insanity points, and basically they work as sort of thresholds. They go from 1 to 100, and every time I think it's you hit a 10 point or a new number by 10, I should say, 10, 20, 30, you can never reduce it below that again, and you just develop permanent insanities.
That's really rough.
Once you hit 100, you are a gibbering madman, and your character is retired.
Okay, but 90, you can still function.
Ish.
You
might chew on your gun for the first 4 rounds of combat and be scared to death, literally, of going outdoors.
But you have the gun, so there's that.
Yeah, after the first 5 rounds in the hallway, you can shoot.
Yeah. And then, like, you're the best guy ever. So there's that at least.
Yeah. The other type is corruption points, which comes from chaos. Now, it's same. I think it's a slightly different scale. I think it's like you can never go below 1. Once you've been corrupted, you're stuck being a little bit corrupted.
Okay.
And it's hard to get rid of those, I think. But as those go up, you might mutate slightly. But once you hit 100, you become an enemy NPC.
Which is really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Now, I know you can get rid of insanity points, at least to an extent. Now, interesting enough, it costs XP.
Oh, that's tough. That's also very rough.
It costs 100 XP to get rid of 1 insanity point.
That's tough,
Considering,
man.
not all classes have the same advancement. If you're playing a soldier, you will pay less XP to get better weapons than you will learning how to read, for instance.
Yep.
It's just how this game works. You kind of switch your career path, but that's still brutal that you have to spend your XP to do that.
Yeah, to make your character not suck. Or try not to suck, I guess.
Yeah. Now, this doubly so sucks because it is perfectly reasonable that you'll get some of these corruption sanity points doing your job right. For example, hey, we are hunting down this cult. We found their holy text.
Okay, right.
We need to read these. And now you might make some saves to see if you can't or can resist some of it. You still might fail, or even if you succeed, you might get a corruption point or 2.
That's rough.
Yeah, there's just no way around it.
Yeah. That sucks. That's not good.
No, and once you get enough, you have to make essentially a saving throw against mutating.
So, what happens when you mutate? Is it just like tumors on your body or stuff like that?
Kevin, give me a number 1 through 100.
58.
Wasted frames. The character's body becomes corpse-like and the muscles wither away. the character's strength is reduced by 1d10.
That's not good. That's not good at all. That's
Uh,
really bad.
Yep. Oh yeah. It's for every 30 corruption you get one of those.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, sorry. That's a minor one. One second. Let's see if I can find it. There's a lot of charts in this book. So one of the reasons I have played so little Dark Heresy, and just a disclaimer, some of this might be wrong. Look, Palladium, I may have messed up one or two things, but that's a Palladium game.
Yeah, and you know Palladium pretty well.
I have not played several Palladium games. If you handed me the character sheet, I could figure out how to play in the first session pretty easily.
Right.
I played this game literally twice, and both times I was an NPC.
Really?
Some friends of mine were playing, and they were playing a weird game of this. Like, it was not how it was supposed to be. The Inquisitor they were working for was insane completely.
Oh, okay. So,
And I think kind of drafted the cream of the crop that was just a little bit too damaged to go to anyone else. So they basically took a bunch of Warhammer memes and made it into characters. So, for example, there was a tech priest who was literally in love with her toaster. His
Okay.
name was Titan. She drew fan art of Titan. And it is burned into my brain forever.
yeah, as it should be.
Yeah, there was a guy who specialized in driving vehicles and melee attacks, because drive the tank closer, I want to hit it with my sword. And they decided that all Chaos cultists were named Ted, because they were Zeech cultists, and that was like part of like the cult process to like
Okay.
obscure their identities.
Right, and they're all Ted.
Yep. So I just kept being Ted.
Yeah. Okay. And you're all the Ted.
Yep.
That's great.
So that was my one experience with this game. So it's nothing like it's supposed to be played.
Yeah.
However, I just found the proper mutations. Kevin, major or minor mutation?
Let's go major. Let's hear the
1
good
through
stuff.
100, please.
79.
Oh, the mutant gains the unnatural strength trait ×2.
Oh,
You become the Hulk.
that's great. Okay. Any downsides to that?
No.
Oh, all right. That's great. Except you're just corrupted, so that's not great either. But that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, considering there's one called Necrophage, the mutant gains +10 toughness and regeneration trait, but must sustain itself on copious amounts of raw meat.
Ooh, okay.
Like, there are some bad ones here. The mutant's lower limbs fuse together into a worm or snake-like tail. They get +5 wounds. And a disturbing trait.
That's also great too. All right.
Yeah, a lot of these are at least partially beneficial.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I mean, you can just become psychic, which, by the way, psychics are super dangerous in this game.
Yeah.
Because whenever you make a psychic test,
Yeah.
standard, I forget what you can pick what number you roll under based on your power and everything. Like there's a whole system for that. If on either of the two 10-sided dice you roll a 9, you get a mishap.
Fantastic. Okay.
Mishaps, most of them, meh.
Yeah.
A little bit annoying, maybe a little bit damage, nothing major.
Yeah.
Oh, except 25% of the time, you're rolling this table, which does include things like summons a squad of demons and your head explodes.
So being a psychic's not good.
No, being a psychic is not good. I mean, in this world, no one wants to be a psychic. They actually are kind of the most corruptible by the demons.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, an open mind is just like a vault ready to be like taken over, basically.
Yeah, I actually think that might have been close to like the weird like blessing my character got at the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, like no one wants to be a psyker in this world because you are either brought to Earth, Holy Terror itself,
Yep.
and terrible things will happen to you.
Yep.
The best case scenario is you die.
That's the best case. Yeah.
That is, like, literally, that is the best case scenario for you at that point. Because, for example, in this game, you're playing like a top tier psyker that's ready for combat and everything,
Right.
rather than one sacrifice the Emperor, or that becomes a faster than light text message service, which is awful.
Yeah. Well, also bad.
But like, you roll on how your psionic training affected your character, and like the things are like, you have a reconstructed skull, or all the teeth in your mouth fled in terror. Think about what you have to go through for your teeth to be scared.
Oh my God. Yeah. Jumping right out of your mouth.
But no, they did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a metaphor.
Okay. Yeah. No, I understand.
You were exposed to some weird ass warp stuff, and your teeth developed sentience and realized they could not stay here.
Oh my God. have you ever gotten like that dream of like your teeth getting like pulled out or
I
anything
have
like that?
not.
Okay, I like to think like that, but in reality,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not great.
No. No. All my teeth-related dreams are like things like covered in teeth.
What do you mean covered in teeth, Dad?
Like, well, imagine like your arms, fingers, and eyeballs just having teeth, like a layer of teeth on them.
Ah, that's not good. I don't like that at all, Dad.
Yeah.
So
That's my teeth-related nightmares, Kevin.
that's my teeth life I've got. Um, so Ted, let's bring this to a conclusion, I believe, because we talked about Dark Heresy for a little while.
Yeah, and honestly, if I want to get more in depth, it's just going to require me talking about Warhammer more.
Yeah, and that's like a rabbit hole that takes a while, but
Literally years.
years. Yes. Okay.
Once again, over 100 novels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Novels, not articles, not codexes, not rule books. Novels.
Full up books. So, what would you, as a person that played NPCs named Ted, what what would you rate this system?
All right, so I
What?
would give this um, 8 corrupted planets out of 12.
Okay.
Now, we didn't get too much in the nitty gritty of the system. I like the setting too much,
Yeah.
but you fail so much.
Yeah.
I get attached to characters quite a bit, and they'll just die so often.
Right.
And the book is poorly designed. Like, we tried to find our starting skills for like 20 minutes.
God, that was funny. That was funny. Just because you have to look in such weird areas to find anything.
Yeah, and the index in the back is not very useful for this. So it's a very large book too.
Right. So
It's just poorly made. Also, like the fact that everything's a D10 with like a +1 modifier means like all the guns feel samey and everything, except for a few details. Kind of one of the reasons I had no problem playing the flintlock character is because it's not a las gun.
yeah.
It's just like different. It's something new.
Right, and something to stand out and feel like at least an individual kind of
Yeah,
thing.
but everything just does a D10 +1 or 2. Maybe it has a cool ability here and there.
Right. Right.
Meh.
Yeah.
Um, Also, the skill system, while it's interesting, I feel like I don't know how much combat would really matter. Like I like when I have often like given players extra stuff to have abilities in and out of combat,
Yeah.
and you really have to focus on one or the other here. Like I feel like a well-rounded character is likely not going to last long.
Right. That they'll die.
Yeah, so like you'd have to have a GM. Like if I was GMing this, I would often allow elite advancements into cool non-combat skills.
Yeah, to make the character more interesting and then have more utility outside of combat.
Yeah, because I mean, look, no, a lot of it's investigating, but there's going to be a shootout at some point here, and when shootouts are that lethal,
Yeah.
I don't want to hide in a corner,
Right. Right.
especially because they're going to be failing a lot, so combat's going to take a while.
Yeah. There's that too.
So it's like if I'm playing a tech adept,
Yeah.
great. What do? I hack computers. Such is that relevant to here? No. I have this cool gun. I'm not very good with it, but I have a cool gun. But I'm not tough at all. I can't really use it. And if I get out of cover, I expose myself to being shot for a 1 in 3 chance of shooting somebody,
Yep.
which may or may not do damage.
Yep. So because of those reasons, and I do like the lore. The lore is like really interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like if the game system itself was like tweaked a bit, it'd be more fun and people would be playing it a lot more.
Oh yeah, no, it's the game system. Now I think it might like the Death Watch version where you play a Space Marine.
Yeah.
And like they change it so instead of doing individual wounds, you're like killing alien battalions with your weapons.
Yeah. Which is yeah.
Haven't read that one, but I have a feeling that would probably play better because you were just a better person, you're not just a human.
Yeah.
And when you do fail, it's not like It's like, well, yes, the giant demon from the warp with the 20-foot tall axe managed to parry your sword attack. Like that's not exactly unrealistic. That
Yeah.
feels like an epic battle. When you're failing, it's not that you're just some dude. It's that your enemy's amazing.
Yeah. Which makes you feel better about the whole situation
Yeah.
here. I would give this a 6 out of 12.
Okay.
I think that's fair just because the lore can only take you so far if the actual gameplay of the game itself is kind of underwhelming or kind of hard to get into.
Yeah, admittedly, I might be rating this higher than Kevin just because I love the idea of playing the stupid space cowboy in the setting so much.
You have that influencing you just a
I
little
will
bit.
admit that. I will completely admit I am biased because, man, would I love to play the space cowboy.
See, Ted, you're what we call corrupted in a certain way. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, you haven't gotten a mutation yet, but just a little bit corrupted. And that can never go away.
That can never go away.
Well, thank you everybody for listening and coming in to, I would say one of our longest recordings, I think. But yeah, it's almost like 2 hours.
That was the original plan, Kevin, and then you were just going to chop off half of it.
Yeah, basically. But
ironically, when I said when you mentioned that we have to mention the Dunkin' Donuts Empire every 37 minutes,
oh, you were
in the
gonna
recording,
yeah.
we were at 42. Now, everyone, it was 38 on the final draft.
Oh God, yeah. So we're dead. But
yeah. All right, listeners. So in that case, we have to duck and cover and pray that the Empress shows us mercy. In the meantime, have a good day.
good thing it's going to be an orbital strike. So we'll see how this goes. We're going to go back to our bunkers. Goodbye, everybody. Have a nice life, and we'll see who wins this thing. By the way, us or the Empire?
For the Empire.
For the Empire.
Wait, no.
Ah!